Hey there, it's Carla from Carla is Crafty, episode 70. I know it's been a while. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a mom, a wife, and a midwife, and I'm a born again Christian, and I love people enough to tell them that. I hope everybody's doing good. I know, not being very regular. I'm not going to make any promises about doing regular videos. It's just not happening anymore. Too much goes on in life, too much things, and you guys know I don't do these for a living. It's just kind of a side gig to say hi to people and show what I've been making, and hear from really nice people who are in the crafty community. I hope there aren't any ads when you guys watch my videos, because I don't have ads turned on, because again, I don't use this to make money. So it's not a profit maker for me. It's just something I do that I enjoy doing, and I enjoy hearing from all you lovely people who do crafts and stuff. And so I will get into it. Um, Finished objects. Well, I decided to do craft shows this year, probably in the fall, maybe around Christmas and stuff. And as you guys, if you're on my Facebook page, Carla is Crafty, you've seen some of these things I'm going to show you already today. So I have a lot of finished objects. Indeed, I do. I have made several sets of cotton. They're just granny square dishcloths, and the hot pads, they're double thickness. They're all crochet. I've got that print. I've got 3 or 4 sets in that, and then I've got this yarn. These are like sugar and cream yarns, I believe. The big, I had some big cones of them, and so I used those. And then I've made a lot of Ross hats of various different yarns. These are actually Premier fruits, and this is the plum. So I got a little baby hat and an adult hat. This is some old Premier I had that's, I want to say Candy Shop. Yeah, and I can't remember the color on that one, the colorway on that one. And then this is another Premier Fruits, and it's the blueberry. Like I said, I have tons of them. I think I've shown you some of them. These are the really bulky ones that I have made from various things. This one is Candy Shop, I know, and it's called Twizzler. And see how it does, it just works up differently depending on where you are in the cake of yarn. That's some Red Heart with Love with the sparkle. This is some, I want to say Stylecraft DK. I could be wrong. Anyway, I've made so many hats, so many hats. So I'm going to sell those at craft shows, obviously in the fall. Probably right now wouldn't be a good time to try and sell them. The fun stuff I have made, though, I've made several of these Mondo bags, which last time I talked about having some, and I've given some away, but these are the ones that I've made for the craft fair and stuff. I did this one out of 5-inch squares, out of a 5-inch charm pack, because I just thought that would look cool. And then the rest of them were out of the 2.5-inch squares. This is some Riley Blake fabric that I had a charm pack of it. I have to add just a few more squares of something else, because the charm packs are only 42 5-inch squares, and so you actually need 48 2.5-inch squares to make a Mondo bag. I'm sorry, you need 192, which is 48 for each panel. So if you take 42 5-inch squares, you only end up with 42 for each panel instead of 48. So you need, to add 6 more to each panel. And so I just try and find something that goes with it. I don't think you can really tell when I've added different fabric in. It goes with it really well. I love this one, the really jewel tone one. I don't know if I showed you guys this one. Anyway, this one I really like too. It's, I don't guess you can you see that it's shiny? It's metallic. Anyway, I really like that one. I think it's pretty. And then this one, other than the Harry Potter one that I made myself, is probably my favorite. These colors are just gorgeous. And so, you know, the inside is just lined with something that matches, and then they all have pockets. They all have one pocket in them. So that's kind of fun. I made a second Harry Potter bag because I had enough 2.5-inch squares left over when I cut out my bag. So I've already sold it. It's already on its way to where it was sold. And then I've actually sold 7 of my crisscross aprons that I made. So there's that. So I found this pattern on Baby Lock on their website. I was looking at embroidery machines. Yes, I don't need an embroidery machine. But I was looking at them anyway. And they had a free pattern. And so it's actually for like a, it's got little pockets. One of them has like a big pleat in it, so it's a little bit more open. But you know, you make the different lines for it. You can't hardly tell where the pockets are on this because I used all one piece of fabric. The pattern actually called for you make each pattern pocket separate and then sew them together. And I thought, that's just a lot of time. So what I did was I just made with single panel because you have to back it anyway. And so I just made the panel the same size as the backing and put it together. And then I just kind of did opposites. And so I found that since I use canvas to make the straps, I can get out of 2 1-yard pieces, so I get 2 different 1-yard pieces of fabric, I can get 4 of these aprons. So I made 2 like this and then 2 opposite. And I don't know where my opposite one went. Anyway. Oh, there it is. So my opposite one is obviously, oh, nope, that's the same thing. Here's the opposite one. It's the same fabrics. It's just that, you know, one of them is kind of the main fabric for the pockets, and then the other one's the contrasting, and then whatever the pockets is, the back ends up being the same thing too. And so I made 2 of each like that, and then I used this fabric and I made 2 of each like it. Sorry, everything's folded up really neatly, so now it won't be, but I really like these fabrics. I think they're pretty. But so yeah, you can tell a little more where the pockets are on this one. And I made myself some labels with my printer. I made them on Cricut Design Space. You cannot import or export from Cricut Design Space, but I found that you can take a screenshot on your phone or cut it, you know, if you're using your computer, you can do that, and then you can put that into a JPEG, turn it into a JPEG, and you can use that. So that's what I did. I made myself some labels. I also made myself some stickers. Now, these are preliminary labels and stickers. They're just temporary because my daughter, who's very artistic, is going to design me a logo. There's my, but this is the one I came up with just because I could. And so that's the stickers I put on my bags. When I sell something, I put it in one of my little purple bags, and then I throw a sticker on it. When I go to market, I will have some of the bags with handles, you know, like paper bags with handles, and I'll put stickers on those. But I do like to put labels in the things I make. But again, my daughter's going to make me a really nice logo, and once she does that, then I can have some better labels and stickers. And then I made a bunch of the crisscross aprons. Like I said, I've sold about 7 of them. And the crisscross aprons are really cool. It's just, you know, whatever the fabric is on the opposite side, that's what your pockets are. So I've got this one, which I think these fabrics, this is also some Riley Blake fabric. If you've never heard of Riley Blake, she designs, well, her company designs beautiful fabrics. And I think I showed you guys these already, but I'm not sure. This is one of the Christmas ones. I sold my other Christmas one with that had the, that was this, the Christmas lights. I sold that one already. And then I did take pictures of all of my stuff before, with the exception of the bags that I gave away to family members. I've taken pictures of all the items I've made so I can catalog what I've made and what I've sold. I'm sorry, my nose is just like drippy today. I don't have a cold. I'm not sick. Oklahoma allergies. This is one of my favorite ones. It's coffee. So coffee, coffee, coffee. And then this one's really cute. It's like teacups and teapots. And the back side of it is, it's just kind of vintage looking, I think, and it's really cute too. And I'm going to put one of them on just so you see what they look like on. Because again, I can't remember. I don't think I did end up showing them to you guys. I'll try to do this without covering up my phone. I mean my microphone. So yeah, they're just super cute. This is the coffee one, obviously. And so it's got pockets, which is really nice on both sides. And then I don't know if I got it straightened out or not. Let's see if I can. But the crisscross is in the back. Oops. It's not very straight. But you guys know what I mean. It crisscrosses in the back. That's why they call it a crisscross apron. Anyway. Ooh. Okay, well. Anyway, that's good. And then these little half aprons, like I said, they're for crafters, and so you can put your scissors or your rotary cutter or anything in them. And they're just cute little half aprons. The straps are super long, so if you want to tie them in front, you can. If you want to cut the straps off, or if you just want to tie them in the back and have them hang down, that's fine too. But I thought that, you know, people who work in restaurants might like these. People who do gardening, I thought they'd be good for that. And then this one, I don't know. This is a super easy apron pattern that I bought. I didn't buy the pattern, sorry. I bought the one for the crisscross aprons. The one for the half apron was a free pattern on Baby Lock. Again, you know how I try to link. I don't think my last video I linked anything. I slacked, I really did. This one I found on YouTube, and I just wrote the pattern down where she told you how to do it because it's really simple. It's basically 2 pieces of fabric cut into, you get 2 1-yard pieces of fabric and you cut them, I believe, 25 inches wide by 36. And then you sew them together, turn them right side out, and then you edge stitch, top stitch, and then whatever your fabric is on the back, you flip it up, and then that's how you make your pockets. So I mean, it's kind of sad that it's not reversible, so you don't get to see that pretty side, but and then the strap, you make the strap, and then you just bring the corners to the center and tack it. And then you cut, and then you sew your, boy, I seem to remember doing this on video. I've already done this, haven't I? I'm repeating myself. Oh well. And then I had a friend, and she's really sweet, and she has animals and things like that. And I had offered, because I know she does a lot of gardening, so I was going to make her one of those half aprons. Well, she said, instead, would you make me an egg apron? Because she says sometimes her eggs get broken when she's carrying them in a bowl to the house. And so I found this super cute pattern. This is also free for an egg apron. And there's an adult size that holds 10 eggs. And then there's a child size. Sorry, I'm going to sit back down here. Move this back a little bit. Then there's a child-size apron that holds 8 eggs, which I thought was super cute. When I bought the fabric to make the apron, I got this really cute, fabric with chickens and llamas and pigs and stuff on it. I thought the canvas was this, so I thought you'd see more of it, that it would be the pockets, but the canvas is actually the base fabric. And then this is just it's actually poly cotton that I bought at Walmart because I realized I did not have a large enough piece to make that part. And so I just went and bought a 2-yard cut at Walmart because, no offense if you work at Walmart, I worked for them for 10 years before I became a nurse. So I know how it goes, and I know it really stinks for people to say negative things about your place of work, but it's almost impossible to get someone to cut fabric for you at Walmart because they don't have somebody. I mean, when I ran the fabric department for 3 years. That was the last department I managed before I left Walmart to go to nursing school. And I was the manager for 3 years, and we always had somebody in the department. There was never a time when there wasn't somebody there close by who could cut fabric. They may not be right at the fabric table, but they were close by. And, our Walmart, they have a tiny little craft and fabric department, and they just don't staff it. I think they put their staff places where they make more money on having someone staffing it, like electronics or something like that. And you can tell they don't really value crafters' business anymore because they have like one aisle, just one half of the aisle. I believe it's just one half of the aisle's yarn. They have like an aisle and a half of fabric, and things like that. But they do have some nice prepackaged solid color or even some print fabrics. And so you can just go in there and grab them and buy them, and you don't have to wait on somebody to cut your fabric. I prefer to get my fabric at Hobby Lobby just because, number one, I know they have good quality fabric. And number two, even though that person's not right there at the table, when I hit that little bell, it's not long before somebody's there to cut my fabric for me. And so, I feel like they really, at least, do that well. And so there's that. I think that's it for finished objects. Yeah. I have to replace the aprons I've already sold so that I'll have them for the craft show. But in the meantime, I'm just not going to be too concerned about it. I'm well ahead of my goal of having 2 large items, which large items to me are either a Mondo bag or an apron. My goal this year was to make 2 a month and then as many smaller items as I can. And quite obviously the hats and the dishcloths and things like that, I've been able to make quite a few of those. I'm trying to keep my variety of items limited so it doesn't overwhelm people when they come to my booth, because I've not having done this, those are kind of the tips I got, and I agree with that completely, that you don't want to overwhelm people. Plus, I think it's overwhelming for you to try and keep track of a lot of small items. I do have some earrings that I made because I had a lot of, and I may have talked about this before too, I had a lot of charms that I had bought when I used to make a lot of stitch markers and send them out. And so I had some charms that were great for earrings, and so I did make some sets of earrings, but I'm only about 12. It's not like I have a ton of those. And I thought, I can take those, and that's another small item. What I'm hearing from a lot of these YouTubers that talk about doing craft shows and stuff, and I know you can learn everything on YouTube. So that's kind of what I did, and was watching those. And, they talk about having a variety of priced items. So, you can have your bigger, higher priced items, which the bags and the aprons are definitely a little higher priced. They're not overpriced, I can promise that, but I'm trying to sell them for what they're worth and not undervalue my contribution to making them, okay? That's something I tend to do. I tend to not sell things for what they should be sold for. But they said, have your higher priced items or whatever that's kind of your thing that you want people to buy, but have some smaller, less, costly items. I was watching one crafter who does shows, and she has some small amigurumis she does that are just like $3 or $5, things like that. And then she has her bigger ones that are more. And you know, people's kids will come in and grab those little ones, and people might buy 2 or 3 of those for their kids. Um, but you know, it's just kind of a draw too to get people to come in and look at what you have there. And if you have too many items, I think people sometimes just kind of walk by and go, ugh. But if you have just kind of a set amount of items, I think people will come in more and look at, oh, you know, she's got these aprons and there's a nice variety of those, or she's got these bags and things like that. I'm probably not going to do any amigurumi. I know there's people out there that do. That's, you know, this lady I was watching, that's all she does is amigurumis for her craft shows. Just because, you know, I'm more on the sewing side of things right now. I'm kind of having you know, I'm having a good relationship with fabric. I told somebody, if you've looked at the comments on my Facebook page, one of my good friends said, you know, oh, I really like that bag. And I said, yeah, I know it's going to be hard to let all these go because I get emotionally attached to fabric, as I do yarn and things like that. So kind of we all do that, right? Am I the only one? Am I the only weird person that gets emotionally attached to crafting items? I don't know. I made this with my Cricut, my Rubius and Black motorcycles. Thumping good bikes since 1928. I don't know where they got the 1928. I bought the SVG file off of Etsy because I liked it. I didn't want to have to design my own. And then I just, you know, printed it out of vinyl and ironed it on my sweatshirt. Because I'd bought some, I had a friend wanted me to make her some sweatshirts, and so I ordered some sweatshirts from Jiffy Shirts. And since I was ordering for her, I thought, oh, I'm going to order me a couple of shirts and then I can make some. And so that's what I did. And then Jiffy Shirts is also doing direct-to-film or direct-to-fabric, DTF. I think people call it both. DTF transfers. And you can upload a file that you've purchased. They're PNG files. You can buy those files, you know, on Etsy, just like I bought this SVG file. And you can upload those to Jiffy Shirts website, and they will print those for you and send them to you so you can iron them on your shirts. And I did that recently because I had some shirts I wanted to make for some friends, and I really wanted to do the DTF because vinyl's fine. You know, iron on heat transfer vinyl's great. I love it. But if you want to do anything mixing colors or when you do layers, I have a layered shirt that I did, and the top layers are just peeling off. And I baby my shirts. Like when I make something with a heat transfer vinyl, I wash it inside out in cold water and I hang it to dry. I don't ever put my shirts in the dryer. If they get in the dryer, it's because someone else put the laundry in the dryer and didn't pay attention. And so I really baby mine so they'll last a long time. I have a friend that I made shirts for her daughters, and she throws them in the dryer all the time, and they're still going strong. So I'm sure it's meant to. It's my thing. You know, we all have those little things, right, that I say OCD, but I guess I am a little OCD about those things. And so we just have those things. But the direct-to-film, so sublimation's nice. I like sublimation. The shirt I'm wearing underneath, this is a sublimation. And it's really nice. It says, with God, all things are possible. Matthew 19:26. And I like this sublimation. The issue with sublimation I have is sublimation prints that you iron on. I ordered these up from Etsy from a lady to iron on shirts, but they have to have polyester in the shirt. Like this shirt's 100% polyester, which it's a nice shirt. It's not a big deal. But I like 100% cotton Gildan shirts. I get their sweatshirts, I get their t-shirts, and it's just a thing. The polyester ones can be a little more expensive, so if you're doing a bunch of shirts, you know. But the direct-to-film is really great because you can put it on anything. Cotton, polyester, whatever. The direct-to-film it kind of sits on top, like, you know, the sublimation goes into the fabric actually, but the The DTF sits on top kind of like this, but it stays on really well, and you can do just like anything, and it does the cutest prints and colors, and oh, I mean, I really like it. And yeah, I've looked into getting when I was doing some sublimation stuff and ordering those, I looked into getting a sublimation printer, and I looked into getting direct to film. It's really cost prohibitive. I mean, if you're going to do it for a job, if you're going to do it to make money, I can see you doing it, but there's a lot of overhead involved in it. And so when those people charge for those things, just like anything else, you guys know what goes into crafting something and making something. Just, those costs are there too. It's not just, the cost of your materials. It's also the cost of that printer. Sublimation printers, you have to use them regularly or they gum up. And they're expensive items, and the the DTF printers are pretty pricey too. So I'm just going to stick with my Cricut and do some heat transfer vinyl stuff. And anyway, that is what that is. Boy, that was a little crafting rabbit I chased right there. So you just never know. Anyway. Not a whole lot going on. I mean, I do have acquisitions, but mainly it's fabrics that I've purchased to make bags and aprons with. Other than that, craft acquisitions. Oh, I should have brought that little thing. I'll have to remember it next time. I bought this cute little time saver thing that I just thought was absolutely the smartest thing in the world. But I left it in the other room, and I don't know how to stop the video and restart it and splice it together and all that. Yeah, I'd never done that either. Like, learned how to do that better, but there you go. Ugh, talking too much. I'm getting thirsty. Gotta have some water. Exciting, fun stuff coming up this summer. Got a vacation. I get to go to a couple of conferences for work, which is always a lot of fun, and I'm ready to do that. So going to be out of pocket off and on this summer, which is good. And I'll be excited to come back and share with you guys what I've been doing, where I've been, and what's been going on. Personally, professionally, just been working. That's, some of the things that keeps me from making a video regularly. And again, sometimes I think about making a video and then I realize that it's my day off when I've just washed my hair and let it go and not done anything with it, and it kind of looks not so great, or, it's just one of those things. I had a good friend and one of our staff who had a medical issue and couldn't work night shifts, and so the rest of us were pulling extra night shifts, and so that kind of has turned me into a zombie. I had 2 16 hours and a 24 last week, and I'm telling you what, when I got off work Saturday morning, today's Sunday, when I got off work yesterday morning, I was a wreck. I was like, I came home and did some things. We had share day with our church, which once a year our church does this thing called share day, where everybody brings their items they would like sell at a garage sale or whatever and donates them, and we open up the church and the community comes in and takes it for free. We don't sell it. We don't have a garage sale. It's a free garage sale. And I mean, it really, I think, means a lot to some people. They can find some really nice clothes and things like that, and we always have some big items. You have to get a ticket because you only get one big item, because people want to come in and load up their trailer and then take that stuff out and sell it. And that's not why we do it. We do it for people who need those things and can't afford to buy them. So, and it does mean a lot, because we had some people tell some of our staff that had volunteered for Share Day yesterday, they told them that they had been in line since midnight. And it opens at 8. It's from 8 to 12 on Saturday once a year. And these people had gotten in line at midnight. Sorry about the dingies. My family Facebook Messenger group is blowing up. I don't know what's going on. I'll have to check it when I get done here. But there were people who'd been in line that long. And, you know, like I said, there are some nice things. And, you know, we had some family come up to look and see what they could find. So I went over and spent some time with them. And then, man, I'm telling you what, I was just a zombie the rest of the day. I did go iron some. I ironed all the stuff on all the interfacing on these because I had enough to make 2 adult bags, or 2 adult aprons and 2 children's aprons. So I ironed all the interfacing on because every one of those pieces has interfacing ironed on it. I ironed all that on, but I thought, I'm not going to try and sew something. Oh my gosh. I, I probably would have sewn my finger into something. I was just that tired. So yeah, needless to say, slept really good last night, and then got up this morning for church and stuff. And so um, all that's been going on. And I know I'm just rambling now. So, and it's been 30 minutes, so I probably should just shut up and go post this. And hopefully sometime this week I will get back in and add in all the patterns, especially the free ones I can attach. Oh boy, there goes the TV's on now. Anyway, I just want to tell you guys to have a great week, and remember that Jesus loves you, and so do I. And, you know, just continue being great to each other. And I appreciate your comments and you sticking around, because I realize I'm not being really regular about my videos. But I keep doing them just because I have fun doing them. So you guys take care, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.